The room is quiet until a sharp, rhythmic clicking sound echoes from the corner. A vibrant African gray parrot shifts its weight on a wooden perch, its eyes penning as it focuses on the human entering the room. Without hesitation, the bird lets out a perfect rendition of a ringing telephone, followed immediately by a sharp laugh that sounds identical to the homeowner's. The human stops, startled by the accuracy, wondering if the bird is simply reflecting the environment or if there is a deeper, more calculated intention behind the sound. It is a moment of profound ambiguity that has puzzled naturalists and pet owners for centuries. For generations, the phrase "to parrot" has been used to describe the act of repeating words without understanding their meaning. This perspective treats the bird as a sophisticated biological tape recorder, a creature capable of folding its tongue and vibrating its syrinx to match frequencies, but devoid of the cognitive depth to grasp the concept of a greeting or a command. However, as researchers delve deeper into the avian brain, the narrative of the mindless mimic is beginning to crumble. The reality of parrot communication is far more complex than simple imitation, involving social bonding, emotional intelligence, and a level of logic that rivals some primates. In the wild, a parrot's life depends on its ability to fit in. These are highly social creatures that live in dense, noisy flocks where communication is the glue holding the group together. Every flock develops its own unique dialect, a series of calls and whistles that act as a password for members. When a parrot mimics another, it is not mocking, it is identifying. They use these vocalizations to locate mates, warn of predators, and coordinate movements across vast forest canopies. When a parrot is brought into a human home, that human family becomes its new flock. The bird begins to mimic the sounds of the household, the beep of the microwave, the barking of a dog, or the voices of its owners as a way to integrate and establish its place within the social hierarchy. The most famous challenge to the idea of mindless mimicry came from the work of Dr. Irene Pepperberg and her subject, Alex. Alex was an African gray parrot who didn't just repeat words, he used them to categorize the world. He could identify over 50 different objects, 7 colors, and 5 shapes. Most impressively, he understood the concepts of bigger, smaller, same, and different. If Alex was shown a yellow square and a blue square and asked what was the same, he would respond with the word shape. This required an internal processing of information that goes beyond simple reflex. It suggested that when a parrot speaks, it may be accessing a mental map of labels and meanings that it has carefully constructed through observation. Despite these breakthroughs, the question of intent remains a subject of intense debate. Does a parrot that says, "I love you," when its owner enters a room, feel the emotion of love? Or has it simply learned that making that specific sound results in a positive reward, like a treat or a head scratch? Behavioral psychologists often point to associative learning. Parrots are masters of observation. They watch how humans react to certain sounds. If saying a specific word causes a human to run into the room or open a bag of food, the parrot will repeat that word to achieve that specific outcome. To the bird, the word is a tool, a functional key used to unlock a desired result. Yet, there are countless anecdotes from bird owners that suggest something more intuitive. There are reports of parrots using words in entirely new contexts to describe things they have no name for. One parrot, upon seeing a birthday cake for the first time, called it a yummy bread. Another, when seeing a person cry, lowered its voice and repeated words of comfort usually reserved for it during stressful vet visits. These instances suggest a level of empathy and situational awareness that transcend basic conditioning. The bird is not just echoing a sound, it is applying a learned concept to a novel emotional state. The physical mechanism of this mockery is a marvel of evolution. Unlike humans who use a larynx and a complex arrangement of lips and teeth to form words, parrots use a syrinx located at the base of their trachea. By vibrating the walls of this organ and using their thick, muscular tongues to manipulate the airflow, they can produce 2 sounds at once, or mimic the subtle plosives of human speech. This physical capability, paired with a brain that has a high density of neurons in the areas responsible for vocal learning, creates a creature uniquely tuned to the frequency of human life. In the end, the mockery of the parrot may be the ultimate compliment. It is a bridge between species, built by a creature that is trying desperately to understand the strange, tall mammals it lives with. Whether they understand the dictionary definition of every word is perhaps less important than the fact that they understand the power of the word to create a connection. When a parrot looks a human in the eye and speaks, it is not just reflecting sound, it is reaching out across the evolutionary divide, proving that even in the animal kingdom, the desire to be heard and understood is a universal force.